Tilly, you know, we started a little friction rent.
You kick me out. Roaches everywhere. I don't think I ever tell the story. I never tell the story.
Oh God, we need to.
Hi guys, so don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more content like this, as well as you can head over to Kelly's Travels on Instagram if you'd like to participate in the live taping of season 2 of the Unwine session.
Hi and welcome back to the Unwine session. For those of you who don't know, my name is Kelly's, and on these Unwine sessions, sorry, introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Nicole. What the hell are you here? Yes, people, I'm here. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, this already. So on these Unwine sessions, we actually interview persons who have gone through the process of immigration, and we talk to them about their very unique challenges, their journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, right? So today is my birthday. Thank you so much, guys, for all of the birthday wishes. Thank you for all of the good words of advice, all the DMs, all of the private messages. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I thought that it would be most fitting for the Unwine session today to bring on my mom. Her name is Nicole.
Quiet, Nicole.
And the reason I wanted to bring on my mom is because firstly, it has been really highly requested. Like these guys, and she's not really on Instagram, guys, so she don't really be seeing. And even on YouTube, like when I post up on my YouTube channel, she don't really be seeing all the comments and stuff. So she has no idea how much you all love her. Let me just put it out that way. She don't know how much you all love her. It has been highly requested. And I thought that I would bring her on today because today's the day I was born, but today is also the day she had her first child. And now let's see how big my head is.
Oh jeez.
When we should celebrate our mothers on our birthday. Let me just put it that way. Give you the floor. You go ahead and introduce yourself, tell the people everything you want to tell them about yourself, and then we're gonna dive in. I have a list of things we're gonna be talking about here. And yes, she looking at me like, what? Because whole week she telling me to prepare her for this interview. I'm like, nah, we just gonna talk. We just gonna talk.
I'm feeling like I was tricked. It didn't start yet, and I'm feeling like I was tricked to be here. That is unfair.
Yeah, I have a list of things. It's not really questions, but it's things we will talk about.
Alright, okay.
Right? The topic of discussion is my child wants to migrate. So we're gonna go through like from a different perspective too. Because I often talk about my journey with my family, my mom especially, because she and I are very close. But I wanted to kind of get the opportunity to hear from your angle. Because sometimes I hear her say things and I'm like, that's not really the way it went though. In my mind, like it went differently, but her account of it is completely different. So I didn't want to prepare her. I didn't want her to kind of like edit her version of it. I want to hear how you really felt about it. Like your raw opinion. Right?
It's interesting.
Yeah. She low-key
interesting, yeah.
She low-key upset.
I'm cool too.
So introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself to the people.
Well, folks, I'm Nicole Cummings. Happily divorced, by the way. Cheers. As a police officer in Trinidad and Tobago Police Service for the past 21 years. I retired in April, and I have been enjoying my retirement long before April reached. You know, I just love policing, and Trinidad and Tobago Police Service happens to be one of the best service within that. But I know to join, and so I enjoy my stint there, and now I'm just following up now with enjoying retirement.
All right.
Not really retirement, but assisting my grandchildren and so on, and I love them like that. It's not you.
It's your grandchildren.
Yes.
In 2019, my family and I migrated to Canada. And by my family, I mean my husband and my 2 kids, we decided we wanted to move. But the decision actually came long before that. I think it was in probably early 2018 or probably even late 2017 when I first came and I spoke to my family about the decision that I had made. So do you remember when I came and I first told you about the idea of immigration, Mom?
Yeah, it sounded kind of crazy because Kelly's does do crazier stuff. You know, it's like 1 minute she want to do this, next minute she want to do that. She has been into several different businesses over the years, and she's jumping to one thing and then change her mind about it. And then, so when she told me about immigration, I said to myself, all right, this is just another phase. She'll get over it. You know, I didn't take it seriously at the time. You know, I really didn't.
So I wanted to kind of give you a better idea. I haven't lived with my mom since I was 17 years old. When I was 17 years old, I moved out. So for most of my,
18.
it was 17. You see what I mean? It was 17.
You get your apartment at 17?
I was 17 years old when I moved out, mommy.
Alright, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Being independent at 17 is great because I was independent at 15.
so you moved out when you were 15.
Well, I was basically not moved out, but very independent.
Very independent.
Yeah.
I moved out when I was 17.
Okay.
And like I always feel like if my family, my entire family, they never quite understood my journey as an entrepreneur. Like I feel like if from a distance they always used to be like, nah, Kelly's always doing something. I was always the one on the side doing something. You know what I mean? Going to school, working, but always doing something. And like I traveled so much on the income of a career, but to like my mother and my family's always like, Kelly's just doing something to the side there. And they never took me seriously earlier. So it's so
Yeah,
amazing.
because there's so many little things, and some of them were, well, all of them are learning experiences.
Yes.
But some of them was kind of a little far-fetched sometimes as an idea when she knows speaking about it. So, you know, and then she will come 1 minute and yes, I'm going to do this, all gear up, all ready to go in, and then next minute you hear and nothing about it again, so you just die a natural death. So it's like the immigration thought was similar in my mind.
Right. But mommy, even until the other day, I was like, mommy, you know, this business is going good, you know, feeling good about it. I think I told her like I just sold 100 copies in a book. And then you know what, she turned around and she told me, she's like, you know, I think you should get a job.
I can't remember that, people.
She's like, I think, you know,
I
think,
really can't
like,
remember that.
You always should have a job. Like the idea of me working full-time in like a business that I own never quite sit well.
No, well, you see, that is the traditional long time way where, you know, you get a job, you could have something on the side, but, you know, you have a main job to bring in a main income, and then the something on the side is like you're something on the side, because although I was working, I had several little things going on the side too. For example, I was an Herbalife agent. I did all kind of little courses between learn
But you
soft
always had
furnishing
your
and so on. But I
stable
always
job.
had my job.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you cannot blame me for thinking like you must always have your income coming in from somewhere, a short income.
Yeah.
And whatever else you have, well, that is like a plus.
I feel like if it definitely is a change in mindsets from like generation to generation. Because even my father, he worked in the same company since before I was born.
Before you're born.
Since before I was born. So
Both
when
of
I
us.
come and I'm like, you know, yeah, I'm gonna start a business, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. They just watch at me like if I crazy. They watch at me like if I talking gibberish, basically. Right? So that's my personal opinion. So I felt like if when I went and I was talking about immigration to them, it was the same thing. All of them watch at me. My father watch at me and shoops. My mother, my brother roll the eye. My father and my mother. I don't know if you remember this. You told me you thought it was a scam.
Well, at first, yes. Of course, probably like most people, you're going online and you're hearing about this and that and all these big, bright ideas. They pay money and then that's the end of it. So, you know, my first thought, well, girl, you sending money online? You know, you sure about this thing? And then, you know, she came talking about finances and I said, not me. I broke out because I just did not see like my money going into some scam payment or something, and I just say, not this time, Kelly's. You want to go through with it? Well, follow through.
Yes.
Hey, you know, but I just feel that it was some kind of scamish thing.
Why you thought it was a scam
Because a
though?
lot of other people who I know experience migration scam in, you know, online paying the different, what they used to call them, consultants for advice and for assistance and filling out different forms and going through the process. And next minute, it's some big scam and they never hear from them again. And they just even call. Ever so often, these people calling and again, and what about this payment? What about that payment? And the whole thing is a scam. So I just didn't want my little cash earnings from my lovely police job to get tied up in her mess.
Yeah, I feel like if it's like, okay, Kelly's is an entrepreneur, because I was working, I had a stable career.
Yeah.
I had a career, guys, right?
Yeah.
6 years as a polygraph examiner, I had a master's degree,
Yeah.
but I always had something to decide. So I think like if that was your thing, like you're always doing something to decide, always distracting me from a career.
Oh, okay.
And then I used to travel a lot too.
Yeah. we
Remember
traveled
travel?
from
Yeah, travel. I used to go and like
Yeah.
sleep on people's couch in Barbados,
yes.
in Guyana for Christmas by some friend. You know, like all my friends that I met during university.
Yeah.
I used to go home with them during August vacation. So because I'd actually travel to most of the states in the US and basically all of the Caribbean islands.
Yeah.
So like to my family, remember I'm not living over them, right? They're like, this girl is a whole hippie. She's a whole hippie.
Yes,
As a
actually
matter of
used to
fact,
call her
yeah.
hippie. She said she sleep wherever night meet her.
They
Yeah.
used to call me a whole hippie, right? And they used to actually call
And she
me.
doesn't have much of luggage or anything else, but she just go and next minute is the weekend she there. Yeah, wherever the night meet her.
So they look at me like, this girl is a whole hippie, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
now I come into you to talk to you about immigration. And of course, I needed money. Because proof of funds. Those of you who in it all know, right? Money was a big problem. And flat out, right from the beginning, she said, me, I broke. I don't have no money. And my money not jumping up in that. She's given from the beginning. She told me, my money not jumping up in that.
Yes, I did, and I can understand why.
I think I could understand why.
Yeah, I did. Because I felt it was some big long scam in the long run. Kind of like you cannot do it online. You could probably need to contact somebody because so many scams. So many. Now I know very few people who actually did it, but probably through other friends who were here already assisting. But remember, she was just coming on her own, not knowing anybody here.
Right.
And I said like, who you gonna be by? Mommy will make it. Where you gonna stay? Mommy will make it. That had to be craziness for some mother to just kind of give away money to her daughter to go somewhere by nobody in a foreign country, and you know, his mommy will make it, taking just things so easy with. I am coming to retirement, and I was deciding on what my retirement will be for. Not for that.
She is like the golden nugget when it comes to money, guys. My mother and money.
Come, we are just friends, very friendly.
Yeah, money, she real good. Like, she could take 50 cents and turn it into $1. So I know when she's like, hey, broke, I don't believe that. I know it's like, okay, whatever. She just don't agree with what I'm doing. But did you feel like if there was any chance that I was actually on to something?
Well, eventually, when you and Willis went and did the IELTS exam
Right.
in
Venezuela.
Well, at that time, up to that point, what kind of changed my mind? Because them ain't going and spend all our money to go Venezuela, leave the children with me for nothing. You know, I say, well, all right, that song like the on to something a little more serious. And then I kind of started to find out even more, be more curious and find out like, you know, who you're doing, what you're doing, where you'll stay, where you'll be, who's seen about this. What about plane tickets? So exactly where in Canada you want to go? You know, and all these questions.
I think, okay, so we decided we wanted to go do migration. I think within like 2-3 months we realized, wait boy, IELTS was a real hard thing to get through it in Trinidad at the time. Like we didn't have any dates. So I was like, you know what? I go and beat this island while it's hot. I go and book my tickets. We're going to go to Venezuela, Caracas, Venezuela, and do our IELTS test, right? At the same time, I was doing West as well because we had decided that express entry was the way we would go. Now, guys, at this time, I had never done an evaluation by an immigration consultant. I didn't even really know there were so many other options, and there are over 80 different streams of immigration. Not everyone really qualifies for express entry. We were just really damn well lucky that the stream that we found out about, we actually qualified for that one. But what you're saying is that at that point in time, when we actually booked our IELTS test and we went, that is when we actually started taking it seriously.
Eventually, yes. Before that, I was just thinking as well, something you're thinking to do again, and it mightn't come true. You know, I wasn't really 100% on board. But when you see the spending their money to go and do that test, pay for it, travel, come back and everything, all right, okay, she must be into something here, you know?
So only when I took the first steps and invested my own money,
Yes.
you realize not just I was serious, but also that it probably is a legitimate. Like I did my research. I'm not just thinking
People
out
will
loud.
People will understand how I felt.
I understand how you
Yeah.
felt. And matter of fact, I never really explained this part to me.
Yeah, that was my
I
turning
thought she
point.
was just like not being supportive.
No, I wasn't being supportive because I didn't want it to just throw away cash in the air to some scam artist and coming to me, oh, mommy, I lose my money, what to do? It's a call. And I ain't go with that. So I play it safe.
So you was playing it safe,
Yes.
right? Okay. See, this is good. This is good. Like I really starting to understand how was your thought process. Because to me in that moment, guys, I was like, wait boy, immigration is such this big task. You need all of this money, proof of funds, which I didn't have. Guys, when I decided to go through immigration, I had 2 children in the space of 2 years, a year and a half. Yeah, I was broke. I was broke. We didn't have no money, like no disposable, no sort of savings, right? So I was feeling like this is a big mountain I'm bound to climb and nobody in my family support me.
Oh, sorry to make you feel that way, but I'm glad you understand.
I understand. I definitely understand.
You know?
So good. We did IELTS. We did WES. We submitted our Express Entry profile. And within 2 weeks, we got an invitation to apply. And guys, that is when it gets serious.
Real serious.
Because we only had, I think at that time, we only had 3 months to submit our all our documents, including proof of funds. Right? Which we did not have, right? We didn't have it at all. So, okay, we're going through the motions. I am the type of person, I'm like, okay, I need to do this. What's the next step? Even though I can't see how I'll figure out step 10, I will do step 1, step 2. But now we reach the point, well, okay, step 10. Proof of money, proof of funds. So, at that point in time, I decided, you know what? I would rent out our house, because we had owned our own house. Rent it out. Sell everything in the house.
Yeah, we did.
And then where I had to go and stay?
At home by me. By me, alright, okay. Yes, welcome in arms. Yeah.
Guys, this was the first time since I was 17 years old I had to live home with my mother.
Back in the last place she probably wanted to live.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Because I'm difficult to live with, and so be it.
What? She said I wasn't gonna say it.
I know me. Yes, I'm very difficult to live with. Because I just want things my way. Nothing wrong with that.
My mother is very particular.
Really?
Meticulous and particular. And if you ain't doing it she way, especially you doing it she way in she house,
Everybody probably like that inside and wouldn't admit it. But I would admit it, no problem.
so we had to move back home. And it wasn't an easy transition either, because we have been living in the house for a while with 2 children.
Yeah.
It was hard to move out and sell everything, give away things. It was really difficult. And we moved back home.
Yeah.
I think that was my low point, because we also had to sell our vehicles. Because guys, remember, we're trying to make up money, right? And we have a timeline to make up this money. So we had to sell our vehicles. My mother, she lived at that point in central Trinidad. I lived in Mova, which is right by Port of Spain, right? And I worked at that time in Macoya.
Yeah.
So y'all understand that transit there. Plus my children were still going to school in Mova. And I moved central. That's what, 2 hours traffic in the morning?
Yeah, but we eventually transferred them.
We eventually did transfer them, yeah.
At first we tried, because I used to go to work. Because I'm living central and was working St. James, you know. So on my way to work, I used to drop off my grands by the nursery and the preschool. Thank God was one spot. But yeah, when I see it on the retirement and the horizon, you know, that plan has to change. Because I would not be in town every day again to drop them and to pick them back up on my way home. So we had to work out something different.
At that time, when I had to move back home by you, it wasn't so much moving back home, eh? I mean, yes, that was a challenge in itself, but it was a means standing. Because I was anticipating that we would be out of Trinidad in like 3 months. That was my that was my plan, guys. Right? That wasn't It didn't work out that way, but that was my plan, right?
Yeah.
And so we sold the cars to make up the money, and then it was hell. It was hell just trying to maneuver with these 2 children, and nobody wanted to lend me the car because at this point she probably had started believing it was true. But my brother and my father, them still looking at me like, you be Kelly's out here with your whole self, jump on your whole self, sell your vehicles. And now look at you, she's stranded. Mommy used to really try to help me out a little bit with the car and thing. She used to drop the kids to school in the morning. Plenty times, guys. We coming home in the afternoon and my daughter want to pee.
Whoa.
We had to pull aside the side of the road.
Yeah.
For she to pee in the highway because the traffic so much and the children sleeping. We leaving the house in the morning. We coming back. We leaving the house in the dark and coming back home dark every day. Every day.
Yeah. It was kind of difficult, yes.
It was. I felt really defeated, but the reason why I kept my head down and I was like going for it is because I know, okay, we are leaving in 3 months.
So she thought.
So I thought. Guys, 3 months easily turned into 6+ months.
Yeah.
And then what happened? You should talk to the people.
Yeah, well then, at the living there, I and Kelly's good, we real good, we close, but living together is something else.
We are close.
It could be a challenge.
You are like my best friend,
Yeah.
but
It could be a challenge because I like things my way, and Kelly's kind of a little difficult to understand that I like things my way. Nevertheless, so eventually, we started a little friction. She and her husband had to move out. They went on rent.
you kicked me out.
No, I did not. Don't say it, I kick out. No.
We had a disagreement, guys. I don't think I ever tell the story. I never tell the
Oh
story.
God, we need to.
Yeah, let me go into it now. Let me tell the truth. Somebody says because we are the same personality.
No, probably.
I don't.
yes,
Everybody
I
says
feel
so, but I don't
yeah.
find so at all.
People say so, but I don't find so neither. Believe me, I don't find so.
She's a real perfectionist. Like, right now, she wanted to tape this 33 in the back so that they will look like 33. Right now, this bothering her. Right? This, right now, bothering her big time. That is my mother. Ducks have to be in a row, in a line, same color, matching.
No, it's not like that. Sometimes. Kind of like that. Anyway, yeah. So she moved out again and was renting for a little while. But I was still there, supportive.
She was supportive from a distance.
Yeah.
But we couldn't stay. It reached a point where it just couldn't work out.
It was difficult all over again.
It was.
So, yeah.
And guys, talk about deflated. My whole idea popped down. Remember, I had this big vision in my mind. I'm gonna be out of Trinidad in 3 months. 3 months in, less than 3 months. We probably didn't even stay by here for like 6 weeks. It was like, wait boy, we have to go and find some way. I can't really remember.
It probably was a month and a half.
About a month and a half, 6 weeks, yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
and
alright, you're right.
it just didn't work out. It didn't work out, and I had to lick my wounds
And no love lost. We just get over it in our own way. But one thing I like throughout the whole process, and even now, that no matter what happened in the past, we still communicate. No matter what, we still communicated.
I still was calling she and begging she for money.
But that is communication. That was part of it. Yeah.
Mommy, you're showing that money, mommy.
Not only that, even though I was probably hesitant and angry at her.
Don't tell them.
But my grandchildren was, they are my eyeballs, people, my eyeball. At the time, they were my only 2 grandchildren.
Yeah.
And they are my heartbeats now, my first and second heartbeat. And it was like, I was missing them so much that, like, I was willing to bend backwards and say, oh, they come back. Just to have my grandchildren.
But we was bad mind earlier.
Yeah. So at that time, when I telling them come back, they were like,
bad mind, real bad mind.
Yeah, tell me ready to go. And I was like real damn vexed at that stage too.
Not just that, guys, the apartment, because I was working with choir, we ended up just getting an apartment right around the road, right around the corner from where I was working. I remember I need to still work because we still don't have proof of funds, right? My husband still need to work, he was working UB at the time. Because we don't have proof of funds, right? We ended up renting this 1-room hostel.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And to this day, my daughter, she's gonna be 6 just now. She was
6
she was
years.
3 at the time or something, 2 or 3 at the time. whenever you talk about Trinidad, she's always say
The cockroach house.
the cockroach house. Because guys, this hostel had more cockroach than people.
Yeah, it was the worst.
It was the
I
worst.
have to admit it was the worst.
Big rats.
Yeah.
I afraid roaches. Roaches everywhere. All I tell you, bad mind. It was only bad mind when I stayed in that place.
No, you said it.
Because I couldn't even, I was like, I walk into the place to get to a room and it's like, eek, eek.
Actually,
eek.
when I go in there to visit them, I used to be so afraid because it had like roaches on the outside on the property, and I was like, why the hell you come here to live? You know,
Because it was the
it's
cheapest
like,
place. Remember, we still,
trying to make a proof of funds.
yeah, so we can't spend the salary in rent. And remember, guys, we move out we whole house, rent out we house to people. All this is in the mindset of, okay, we trying to save up as much money as possible. So I like looking for dog cheaper. You get what you pay for?
Dog cheap.
That place was the worst. It was the worst.
Yeah.
So we stayed there. And we still communicated. They still used to come and check for us.
Well, I had to, my grandchildren there, wherever they are, I come in. You ain't going to stop me from visiting them.
And earlier, now we have no vehicle and we have nobody there.
But it was close to work. Both of them were close to work.
It was close to work and we got a daycare.
A
So
daycare,
now my
right,
children
yeah.
switched daycares 3 times in like probably space of 6 weeks. Because we take them out from a daycare and we got them to somewhere in Shaguanas. Then when we moved there, I had to get them into somewhere close in Maguire. And it was close, yes, but it was like 15 minutes walk.
That was close.
It's close.
Yeah.
But when you have a 1-year-old baby and a 2-year-old child,
That was close.
between rain,
Yeah.
sunshine, and whatever, to walk and drop them off the day, it was hard. It was difficult. For somebody who driving since I'm 17 years old.
All right, okay. And get your point. Yes.
I mean, some
Being
people
a
probably do that
driver.
every day, but
Yeah.
me without a car trying to. It was difficult. It was really difficult.
So you could have just moved back home.
I know I could have, but the bad
know?
mind wasn't letting me do it.
You understand?
The bad mind was not letting me do it,
Could have
guys.
just come back. Let my grandchildren be in peace. Happy, everything. But they were happy. You know, although they were there, every time I go, the
It
children was
was
just
good.
having
They
fun.
didn't even know what was going
Yeah.
on.
They
They,
didn't care to hell. Children was just
it was
living.
good. Once it was safe, roaches wouldn't kill them. I mean,
Yeah.
roaches wouldn't kill them, right? But then, when push come to shove, guys, I add up all my coins, all my cents, all my dollars. I tell my father, go and empty out my baby account in it's Unit Trust, is it?
Unit Trust.
Unit Trust. I begged everybody in the family. Nobody really didn't have it. I turned back to my mother and said, Mommy, there's it to know. It was like 1 or 2 weeks before we had to submit all our documents. I said, Mommy, we short. We sell everything and we still came up short for proof of funds.
Well, and all you know at that point, well, you know, I would help. I would help. Sometimes I'd say no to allow somebody to find their way or find another way, and I will wait and delay and watch while waiting, hoping that they find another way. And eventually, I mean, it's my daughter, it's my children, I will go and all out and help no matter what. I know that. She didn't know that. I know that. So eventually when she came to me that time around, you know, I just was like, yes, no problem. Let's just do it. Let's just do what you want to do it. I had the feeling, like I started to feel what she was feeling about migrating, although I didn't know where and when and how and everything else. I didn't have answer to plenty of the questions, but nevertheless, I started to feel the urgent need to, let's get this right. Let's put in this application. Let us see what's going on next, you know? And the only way that could happen is with my assistance. And I did. I will go all out.
I honestly... If she didn't lend me that money earlier, it would have just been done right there. Make me cry. It would have just been done right there,
It
though.
will never be done right.
It would
now.
have been done. Earlier, that would have been at the end of the whole dream.
It will never be.
And
I wouldn't see that. I wouldn't stand there and leave it so. Never. Never. you know, you have to understand your children, people, yeah. Two of them I have, and she and her brother different, but yet I'm close with him in a different way, and I'm close with her in a different way. I'm close to both of them, and most of the time was all three of us together going anywhere, growing up and everything else. When they were small, going by the beach, going by the park,
Taking the bus to go by the beach.
everywhere, you know, it was like three of us. Anywhere we go in fact, most of their childhood pictures, until even now, it's three of us, you know, just three of us, you know. So we hang in there, we help each other, and I was not about to, no matter how I was unsure and thing at first, I was never about to disappoint my daughter in that way. I believe as a parent, you know, you have to extend a helping hand, especially if you know that you're getting the gut feeling that this will happen and this will succeed. Good things will happen. It wouldn't just end with you're getting people for funds and you come in here and then it's failure. I don't think that this was Kelly's feeling, Kelly's burning intuition was to succeed, and I didn't want it to stand in that way at all. I didn't want it to stand in her way of success, and in her way of success will bring all of us success, not just her. I'll be happy, she'll be happy, the whole family will be happy. And look at it, we are all here eventually, you know. But I just didn't want to be in that way to prevent her from getting her dream, prevent her from getting her wishes. And that's the kind of person I am. I'll go all out.
So
Baby,
guys,
I love you so much, eh?
I love you too, you know.
As difficult as it is. Yeah. She's still difficult, but the love is there. She mustn't say it, I still difficult too. yeah, but we make it work. You know, sometimes it take a negative and a positive, or a different side of a magnet to hold together. Well, we are the yin and yang, yin yang, right? So we are the different side of the magnets that is stick together.
Earlier,
when necessary.
whatever I think about that moment, I went a couple check on us because this like crunch time now, 1 week earlier, and I sit down in front of she saw, and I had my calculator out, this is exactly how it went down, and I was showing her, mommy, this is all we have. When I mean this all we have, this is some of us renting the house, selling all the furniture,
selling the cars,
taking out all the savings, the little savings that we had, living as lean as possible.
Yeah.
And this is it, and this is what we're missing. And she was like, she's watching me and she's like, okay. I was like, okay, what? Like, I need to say, get a yes or a no. Like, are you making this happen? And she said, yeah. And she went the next day and she write that check for us, and we went and we get the gift deed done, and that's how I get my proof of funds. If it wasn't for you, none of that, all the planning and all the things I thought I could have done, if it wasn't for you,
I think that is what parents in general will do that to see the children succeed. So I don't think it's just a meeting, you know, but as a parent, you know, you will go all out. You wouldn't like work against the children, you know. You need them to succeed, because with their success, you will also be proud, you will also succeed, the whole family will eventually, you know. It's like, you doesn't see this at first. I didn't recognize like I would be here. Of course, I always had a dream of migrating to somewhere when I retired, because I was saying like, I don't think I could want to live and die in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. I want to die anywhere else. Could be there if I'm there, you know, but anywhere else, you know. And, you know, I was always talking about that while we are alive, yes, you know. But nevertheless, my plan wasn't to just work and retire and say, all right, that is that. I'm going to just sit back and be a retiree. I think I have the world at my fingertip. I want to go places, you know, not just be here and all, you know. I just need to go and live my life, you know, continue mine. Have some life in my still, you know.
Yeah. She feisty on you. I don't even know. She feisty bad.
No, I'm not. I'm just alive.
Alive and well.
Yeah.
Alright, so good. You gave me the proof of funds on you. Woo! She gave it to me in a gift deed. We had to go by a JP and signed that it was a gift and not a loan, even though I did pay it back.
All right, that is minor.
I did pay it back. Because, guys, I didn't want that hanging over my head, but I paid her back way after we landed and settled.
Yeah, it wasn't a rush.
It wasn't a rush,
It
and she
really wasn't
never
a
one
rush.
day asked me back first. It was like, I felt like if,
Whenever she put it there, she put it there. It wasn't a rush. Because, I don't know, I'll probably never tell you when I say anything, but, you know, in my mind, I was thinking like, I've given her it. If she pay.
You should have been now. You want to give it back?
No. But in my mind, you know, as you know, I'm telling you, that's how it was. You know, it's not like I tell you, well, pay me back and you have to pay me back and I'm hanging you down. It's like, in your own timing, because I know you came across here too. I know that you didn't know anybody. She need to be employed. She need to pay rent. She need to be established in her own field or to do something, get a job. Her husband need to be working. They need to pay daycare for the children. You know, so I wasn't in a rush. It's whenever you could afford to do it. Yeah.
If I did only know, guys. If I did only know.
Well, okay. You could afford to do it and you did it. That's cool.
I wasn't getting it back. I said. What are you talking about? I was keeping that money.
You wanted me here, you know, pay me back. Don't worry.
I was keeping Hey! Look how things coming up now, eh?
Not only that.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others to grow the family and to head over to Kelly's Travels on Instagram to participate in the live taping of the Unwind. Have a good day guys. Remember, the journey is the prize.